Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting and they send this to them. And they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.
Data from more than 70 countries shows that local feminist activists and organisations are the most important and consistent force addressing violence against women. Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting and they send this to them. And they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.
Society organization and other stakeholders giving out support in terms of food, pads, toiletries, and other items that girls are using. So for us, we have these issues to put across as civil society organization and stakeholders that we need the other stakeholders and the government to address. There is an increased number of FGM cases being reported as at now, according to police reports, and approximately over 312 girls have been rescued in different rescue spaces, and approximately over 26 girls are reported to have undergone the female genital cutting. This number keeps increasing day by day, and this called for a real situation whereby with also reports emerging that Nyabasi clan, which had already denounced the cutting, be it on boys or girls, are now also preparing to do the cut, with reported cases of letters being supplied for the invitation for the FGM cut. The ongoing exam management and having and FGM patrols have been left to police force who are depleted of the number of efficiency respond to the emergency situation. Some of those available are often fatigued, and with the competing and inadequate resources, e.g. enough fuel and other resources to respond to FGM cases. Another issue that we want to be addressed is an ongoing FGM along Kenya-Tanzanian border at Mutiniti region in Intimaru, and also the borders of Narok, which is a worrying trend in Kuria right now. Then another issue is the frontline campaigners and community policing surveillance informants and other community members who have been harassed and threatened during this procession, whereby we are seeing the procession are having crude weapons and even threatening those who are minding their business on the road, going to their different responsibilities. Then the other issue is there is adequate supply of provision and resources to these facilities, bearing in mind that the FGM cut is projected to go until 23rd, where the schools will be opening in January. So it's a long time whereby we need rescue resources to, centers to be facilitated with the resources to keep girls in terms of different support. Then we also called upon there is lack of political goodwill from elected leaders directly who are to respond to FGM, and we would like them to make a public clarion call on stopping FGM in both Kuria West and Kuria East, and also support the ongoing rescue. So we therefore, as stakeholders, demand the following to be handled as a matter of urgency. We want the government to ensure that all chiefs, assistant chief, village elders of the most affected areas come out clearly on their role in responding to FGM, especially those areas that have been mentioned to be hotspots of FGM. We also put our key ask and demand that we also want to ensure that, we want the government to ensure that cultural elders, whom a lot of investment and several engagement had previously been made by Migori County government and other stakeholders, and committed themselves to end FGM, to give their response on the ongoing female genital cutting across Kuria in Migori County, Kenya. We also demand as stakeholders that the state to ensure that the county public, the county government and the national government address the county, especially the governor, to address the situation that is undergoing in Kuria in regards to FGM. We also want the government to allocate more police officers and resources, i.e. fuel to patrol units to facilitate arrest, rescue, and offering security to the public and frontline campaigners and community members who are being threatened and harassed during this procession. Then the last demand as stakeholders is to fast track the prosecution and judgment for the cases of those that have been arrested on accounts of FGM, to serve as an example of those planning to conduct the act now and in the future. The press statement is given by the representative of civil society organization in Kuria, the clergy, the media, other stakeholders on this day, 20th December 2022. Organizations that have brought forth this press statement includes Tunaweza Empowerment Organization representatives, Kuria West Network representatives, Safe Engage Foundation representatives, Touch One Life representatives, Cross Border Mutiniti CBO representatives, Msichana Empowerment Kuria representatives, Goseso Women Network representatives, Kuria Student Association representatives, Youth Parliament representatives, Border Riders representatives, and all the religious leaders representatives from Kuria East and Kuria West. And to no much ado, that is our press statement and demands. So let me allow also to welcome other people to speak briefly on the situation. Thank you.
Maybe before they speak, there has been this complaint that you as the CBO network wait until the last minute when the act is now happening, then you come up with pressers. What is your take on that?
Basically, for us, I think from the press statement, we have highlighted our key asks and what we want the government to address because of the urgent situation in Kuria. But basically, if you can go back, I think we must also appreciate the good work of the civil society organization and partners. I think when it comes to, for us, we demand the cultural elders to be asked, why is it FGM happening? Yet they say that FGM is not going to happen. We have seen it is in the public domain that they have been engaged with the county government, they have been engaged with stakeholders, and I think most of you as media have participated in this engagement of these elders, the clan elders, and also the church have also talked with these clan elders and everybody. And when it comes to engaging the girls in terms of lobbying and sensitization, this is something that has been done since January. So at this particular moment as civil society, We just want enforcement of law, because there's nothing we can do. When we say that advocacy or sensitization, it is a risky situation. From our statement, we have seen the way frontline campaigners and community members are being harassed. Even those who are not ready to partake even in the event, when they are met on the road, they are being harassed with these machete, the pangas, and it is heavily guarded. So there's nothing you cannot do. You are not allowed to sit down and do the sensitization. We have 2 cases in Intimaru. A boda was killed by procession. So these are the key things we are bringing on board. We have seen harassment of people, and also, as we are speaking today, there is that one community surveillance person who had given information on FGM, and yesterday night her home was being touched by other people who are supporting FGM. So that is why we need security, and also the police need to tell us that is it allowed for this procession for people to carry weapons, crude weapons in this procession. We can do even circumcision of boys, but can we not allow crude weapons and threatening of people in the community?
Do you feel the government is doing enough to curb this vice that is currently going on?
Speaking from what we have seen, sub-county commanders doing, the OCS in both the 4 sub-counties, they are doing quite a commendable job. But again, we are feeling that they are not reaching all villages, especially the villages that are hotspot. We have Mutiniti, that is now notorious. We have Siabai, the mentioned few that stakeholders have brought forth. About over 40 villages that are hotspot in Kuria West and Kuria East, that we need urgent action, even if it needs that the national government giving more enforcement of police. And even sometimes when we even require the GSU to get in so that people can be protected and girls can be protected. Thank you.
Elected leaders are so much quiet. What do you say?
I think elected leaders, as we all know, that talking about female genital cutting, it is something that politicians are shying away. And even if they are talking, not all of them. And that now in our statement we have said that we need politicians, especially our MPs from Kuria West and Kuria East, to come out clear at this particular moment, regardless of what they have spoken a long time ago. We want them now to come out, and we see them in the public domain to tell the people to stop FGM so that we can protect these girls and also other young women who are at risk of being forced to undergo FGM.
Okay, last question. There's a medicalization of FGM, whereby yesterday there's a partner who said that there's a hospital around Nyaboanse that is alleged to be practicing FGM. As CSOs, what action have you taken so that you get to know about this medicalization of FGM?
Yes, initially we thought that Kisii County is the one that was leading in medicalization of FGM. But again, we have realized that it's something that is an emerging trend that is encroaching also in our community in Kuria. And we have suspected cases that have been, and from yesterday's engagement with all the stakeholders, the majority of them are represented here today, that was a major challenge, that there is an hospital in Mabera sub-county that is alleged to be conducting FGM in hospital. So that is something we have also tried to bring on the attention of the police to go and do investigation, so that if something happening, then it should be stopped, because whatever the nature that FGM or female genital is coming with, it is criminal and it is not allowed, and it is against the human rights of girls and women. Thank you.
And those girls behind me.
No, we are not allowed. It's unprofessional. We are not allowed to cover them.
To have them.
Just to
Okay. So,
I beg you move here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reverend Julius Barwa. I work for Kumutubo Maranatha Faith Assembly, which is currently one of the rescue center. We have done this work for the last around 16 years, and I'm very happy that once again we are here, continuing the work we have been doing for so many years. At the center, we not only do the rescue activity, but we have a children's home. We deal with infants, so that is category 1. So as we are talking, we have infants here, 23 of them, some of them as young as 2 months, and the others as old as 6 years. Then the other activity we are doing now of FGM, we have 64 girls who came here and are not cut. But again, we have another 4 girls who are brought here by the police from the court because their parents were arrested. The case is in court, so they have been brought here for care and protection. I say that we have been, according to the number that we have, we still need some more intervention on 4 areas. Area number 1 is in terms of feeding, because having such a number of girls needs them to have good diet, and also they stay well. Then second one is in terms of beddings. We still need more blankets, more bed sheets, and more mattresses. Then the third one, we have teachers who are engaging these girls. Of course, they can't stay here idle. They need to be taught a lot of knowledge in their life, because we have pastors here, we have professionals who come and speak to them, so they need some facilitation. And the last one that we may need is exit, because I know some of the girls we are seeing here, they have come here on their own. Some have been brought here by the police, and after the exercise they will need to be taken back to their families. So that process of integration is one that is tedious to us. For the years we have done this exercise, we'll need cooperation and working together with the government and other agencies like the CSO, such that we can see that these girls are taken back to their families in a good and a proper way. Then the last one that I can say is I thank the government, and especially the county government. We've worked with them so well. The police, we are working so well with them as far as the rescue center is concerned, because I'm the manager here. Also the county government, Waziri, the education minister, was here last week, and with her team, and she promised to come back and also support us. So we've been working with all the government departments, and we've never had any challenge or any solution in that matter of managing our children. So far we expect, because where we are now, we are in Nyabas clan, where we've been told that in the next 2-3 days they will be doing the FGM. So we expect that this number we are having will shoot up, and definitely when it goes up, we have to be well equipped in terms of handling the girls, both those who are cut and those who are not cut. Actually, we are the only center that is holding girls who are cut, because we have a children's home. So that is why the courts feel that once they are brought here, they are safe, because we run this activity throughout the year. Unlike other centers that immediately the activity is over, they will close, because they are running the activity from schools or house properties that may have other activities. So basically, that is what we are doing, and we thank you even for coming and highlighting this issue, because it is a collective responsibility. We have to be, all of us move as a team, even the CSO that are here. I request that whatever little you get, please come in and help us, because we are doing all this for these our girls.
Data from more than 70 countries shows that local feminist activists and organisations are the most important and consistent force addressing violence against women. Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the Bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting and they send this to them. And they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.
Data from more than 70 countries shows the local feminist activists and organizations are the most important.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Frontline Ending FGM. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and today we're going back to the two hotspot counties that we've dealt or interacted with in the past few days. This is West Pokot as well as Migori in Kuria in Migori County. We will be hosting frontline activists who are interacting with both government and other stakeholders to prevent and stop FGM from happening within their areas. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi, and right away I'll just bring them to the screen, but I know that if you watched the presser that was just broadcasted on this live stream, and we'll be discussing much more about that and what is being done in both Kuria and West Pokot. So welcome to the program. We have Domtila Chesang from West Pokot. We have Vincent Muita from Migori Kuria, and we also have Tobias, who's still trying to join. He's also from Migori County. Domtila, just because you are on the road, and it would be nice for us to quickly release you, and that we also have a quick way forward. If you would just give us a quick update about what happened since the last discussion we had here.
Thank you, Jeremiah. As you have all heard, my name is Domtila Chesang. I'm a frontline activist on this county. And I'm here to just give a quick update on what we have been able to do since the last call we had. So today we have had an emergency meeting with local administrators, that is the chief, which was actually convened by the county commissioner through the office of the DCC, that is the deputy county commissioner. And in attendance were also ACCs, we had OCS of different stations, and also we had education and children's department, someone from children's department, and these are all partners or stakeholders. Was EFICAS working in Central Pokot County, which at the moment is one of the leading counties in FGM cases that have been reported for the last couple of days. So the meeting brought together all the chiefs who are now inside of the different locations.
Mm-hmm. Is that in the entire West Pokot or a specific sub-county in West Pokot?
Like I said, it's just Central Pokot sub-county.
Okay.
Central Pokot sub-county, which is one of the spotlighted county with issues to do with FGM.
Yep.
So I said the chiefs who were in attendance were chiefs from across the sub-county. Because we thought that as much as we have only highlighted a few locations, but it's also important to bring on board the other chiefs from the same sub-county.
Yep.
So the meeting started well. There were a number of issues that were raised in the meeting, but besides that, there was also a lot of blame games.
Yeah.
So in fact, as I was the only activist in the forum, so the rest of the people in attendance were government officials.
Yeah.
And then there was a world vision. So I can say that it was a bit challenging at the start.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that as an activist, I'm a whistleblower, and my role and responsibility is to inform the members of the public of the situation of FGM on the ground.
Yeah.
And for me, I receive information from the communities. So there was that. There are a lot of questions and a lot of blame game that this information is all over the place, and the numbers quoted, and there was a lot of, it was a bit tricky at the start.
Yeah.
That's why I share with Jeremiah that I have just come out of the most frustrating meeting that I've ever been to. I have every confidence to share this information because it made me feel very uncomfortable at the start because I was being attacked as an activist. I actually literally felt like I was being attacked.
Yeah.
And just because I raised alarm. But luckily the meeting ended well, but that was not before there was a lot of exchange and there was a lot of defense and there was a lot of clearing information because the participants of the meeting came in with information about what I have said, what I have done, the fact that I've shared this information, we have had this media conversation. So of course it did not rest well with some people, or let's say the government administrators. And because but the bottom line is the same administrators were able to acknowledge that FGM has happened. That is the beauty of it all. So they accepted that FGM has happened. They gave their numbers, and I told them I don't have any numbers because I don't live in your villages. But the information I have is not filtered, but I have information from the community that FGM has happened. So I am happy that whether it's 1 girl or 15 girls as quoted by one of the chiefs, that is still, and I gave them additional numbers from my source, and I gave them evidence. So there was a lot of educating each other and trying to rectify each other. But I came out very bold and I informed the participants that my role here is I am the watchdog. I am the spokesperson of these girls. So whenever I hear that there's an FGM case happening anywhere, my job is to inform the relevant authorities, and that's what I have done. So, and of course, I will say that the 3/4 of the meeting was about me. Very frustrating. It was about me, and I was just there by myself. But I'm very glad because I took that head on, and I was able to defend my space and where I come from, and what I do, and why I do what I do, and why it is important for everybody to do their job. Because there was mentions of people will lose their jobs if this is the trend, if this is how we are going to escalate it. And I was like, it doesn't matter. A girl has lost her childhood. She has lost her life, like her future. So what is the difference between losing a job and losing your life? So that is the conversation that we have had. Can you still hear me?
So Domtila, just a quick question.
We were able to harmonize our conversation, and we agreed that everybody should just go back and do their job. But bottom line is there's still a lot of work to be done, and especially to try to capacity build our administrators. That's the Ngao team, because there was also a mention of a woman who underwent FGM, a mother of two children who was pressured by the husband, and there was a debate before I spoke. There was a debate whether that was wrong, and then someone very senior was like, "No, it is not, because there is no case there because she's an adult." So I went in and I was like, "No, you have committed an offense. You have consented to FGM because this is right, this is wrong, this is the law. It doesn't matter. It doesn't discriminate whether you are an adult or you are a young person." So that's from that meeting I can conclude by saying that there is still a lot of work and a lot of investment needs to be done. A lot of effort needs to be put, even to capacity build the local administrators. Not just the local, but even starting from the office of the county DCC, the sub-county DCC, going further now into the community, because I was even trying to inform my chiefs and telling them that, you know what, the fact that I've been able to go ahead of you and report these incidents, or the members of the surveillance group from your community have been able to go ahead of you and report the incidents, and you have not taken any steps to report the same incidents. That is a failure on your side, because we have to share information. If you are overwhelmed, why not communicate? Because one of the chiefs told me that one of the ceremonies, which I actually posted, I shared, because it is now confirmed it's true. There was a public ceremony. One of the ceremonies was being guarded by guns. Because it was between the border of Pokot and Marakwet. So I told, and I was very clear with the chief and asked him, if that is the case, why don't you reach out to your seniors and let them have that information, so that we can see how we can also beef up your security or the support for rescue before it happens. And also one of the things that also came very clear from the same location where FGM has happened in large numbers is that there have been 2 attempts to reach the village, but the roads are very bad. Not just the roads, but the team has tried to go to the village. It gets to a point where the roads cannot go beyond that spot, so they had to come back. So, in conclusion, again, have been no arrest in that same location where 15 girls have been cut. No arrest, no children being brought for protection. And this is the same location, Jeremiah, that is good that we are having this conversation because it's the same location where it borders Marakwet. And the reports we are getting from Marakwet is that Marakwet are having mass cutting. That is what is also contributing to the part of West Pokot to do the same. So it needs to be shared, that information, so that we can see how we can also maybe link up the two communities and see how we can go forward.
Thank you, Domtila. Thanks a lot, Domtila. Maybe as we bring this to a close, and I know you've mentioned some of the solutions or things that need to be done next, it would be nice for us to bring this to a close with maybe one call to action from you. What needs to be done urgently now, knowing that, of course, no action has been done. We had called onto the chiefs to take drastic action, and also the government. We called and summoned the anti-FGM board, as well as kept in touch with the county commissioner, which is still doing. But what needs to be done now, from your perspective?
I think what needs to be done as a matter of urgency is to make sure that we are following up to the locations or to the villages where FGM is happening. Because I made that comment, and I made a comment as part of the way forward in the meeting that the chiefs that have been spotlighted here today, they have to go back and form and have barazas and have those barazas. And but what I will request for us to do, or for suggestion, is that we need to have at least the anti-FGM board. I need their support to come on the ground, because with their backing and with their coordination, they'll be able to do more than I can do as an individual activist. And that is because this is their line of duty. This is their line of work. This is the government. So I will appreciate if the anti-FGM board can take this up and come down here or up here and see how they can engage the different locations where girls have been cut. Because now, if we cannot access the villages with vehicles, so that means there are going to be no arrests. There are going to be no protection. And also, there is the DCC also requested that we have to create a safe space, like a rescue center, so that if girls are trying to run away, they have somewhere to run to. And they have made that very clear. They have really had a very humble appeal to us that is it possible to set up a space here in Central Pokot, that is Sigor, where girls can run to, because we know that there are girls escaping, or there are girls hiding because they don't want to go through FGM, but they have nowhere to go to. So two things: anti-FGM board to come and follow up from where we have reached, because I know that if you don't follow up with the chiefs, trust me, believe me, not much will be done, because they have their frustrations. The police cannot get their villages, and the chiefs cannot arrest. So maybe that can be taken up by the anti-FGM board to see how best can we rescue those girls in the villages. How best can we bring those perpetrators to book? Because now I am told the vehicle cannot go there. So what am I doing? It's like we have reached dead end. So I want the anti-FGM board to take this up.
Thank you, Domtila.
They are coming down here, let them come down here. We board motorbikes, we go to the villages. We can go on motorbikes, because motorbikes can get there. We don't have to wait for the vehicles. Number two, we need to set up a temporary shelter for the girls, for counseling, for rescue, and that kind of support. Thank you.
Thank you, Domtila. I know that, and we had spoken with the programming officer in charge of West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet, Mr. Songok, and he said that his plan was to go there next week, but if it has to be, then he goes today. So probably reach out to him and see how far he is, and not just I think that with the impact in terms of coordination, then it's impactful if they're also on the ground meeting the county commissioners, who are basically the ones who are in charge of those areas and can give orders for arrests. We'll see, and we'll keep in touch with that. But thank you very much, Domitila. We have to head now to Migori, where Vincent and Tobias are joining us from. That's Migori County in the south western part of Kenya. Just to encourage everyone that's watching this program to leave a comment. We'll be, of course, having all the comments on the screen. We'll make it also short, so please go for it, and we will do our best to screen it. So we've lost Tobias a little bit, but as he joins us, maybe if we could just start off with you, Vincent. The situation, I know we've spoken about this before. What needs to be done, what has been done now, especially let's just start off what has been done so far, and also the situation on the ground.
Thank you so much to the viewers. I'm Vincent Muita, a frontline campaigner of ending FGM in Kuria, Migori County, and in Kenya. So basically, based in Kuria, coming from Kuria, and also working around the clock to ensure that we get to an end of FGM. So in Kuria, I can probably say that from Monday, the situation has not been okay, and a lot of girls are being rescued, and they have been in danger. And we've seen that the temporal spaces, from Monday we were seeing the temporal spaces that were holding the girls were keeping on increasing, the number of girls increasing, an indication that more girls were at risk. And also we were seeing number of reported cases of FGM that were happening. And we could see that majority of villages, we can say that almost a half of the villages, the police and also the security that were responding to some cases that the community policing and survey team were reporting, were not able to reach most, or I can say all of the villages.
Yeah.
Because you get that there are some villages that were hotspot and FGM was happening, but because of the overwhelming of the nature of the cutting, the mass cutting that is happening in Kuria, all the police officers and even the other stakeholders could not reach. So this made us to, on Tuesday, to have press conference, a call to action press conference to make our statement. And these were a team of 12 civil society organizations that are based in Kuria. And also we had religious leaders representations, and also border and other stakeholders who joined us, including the social department from Kuria.
Yeah.
So basically we interrogated, we had a meeting to discuss the situation that was the happenings that were happening in Kuria. And after that meeting, we came up with a lot of recommendations, and we saw that it's really, really important for us to do a presser. So yesterday we did a presser in the morning at one of the rescue spaces.
We just played that presser. Yeah.
Yes, the one that has played. And there are key demands that we wanted, or maybe key asks that the stakeholders were really asking from the law enforcers, the county government, and also the national government, because the situation in Kuria was not that good. And as we all know, that all the clans had planned to do the cutting, but as we were speaking on Tuesday or before that presser, the three clans were already doing the FGM, and also one clan, the Nyabasi clan, that had announced that they're not going to do the cutting, had already. The rumors were also on the ground that there are already invitations that are being made for Nyabasi clan to FGM to happen.
Yeah.
So basically, after that presser, I can say that the anti-FGM board came to the center, because they arrived in Kuria yesterday around noon, and also they were trying to assess the rescue spaces, whereby some of the rescued girls are in, to ensure that at least they are getting on the ground. They also went to different areas around Ntimaru to see the nature of what was happening. And I can attest to you that as we were speaking, as we are having the meeting with them in the rescue space at Komotobo, that is Mr. Nyerere from the anti-FGM board, who was accompanied by the DCC for Kuria, from Timaru.
Yeah.
It was all evident that the ground was not that good. The situation was really worsening, and also with the plans of Nyabasi having. So this morning, it has forced the county police commander for Kuria East to call a meeting, a security meeting, whereby all the chiefs, assistant chiefs, and assistant chief, we have had the SIPU, the commanding inspector of police unit. We've had also the deputy county commissioner representative, and also the ACC, the assistant county commissioner for Kuria East.
Yeah.
So we were just having a meeting from noon, that is 12 today, and just
trying to have an urgent security meeting and also highlighting with the chief that we really need we really need to also have a countering strategy on ensuring that all chiefs are able to take charge. That is from tomorrow, because it's expected that from tomorrow this particular clan, Nyabasi clan, is going to do the first cut as it's being planned. So basically, so the first cut is from the meeting. I think one of the issue that has risen is that the first cut will be done tomorrow. Then there will be going also to have several FGM happening on 23rd, that is Friday. And also it's projected that on Saturday there will going to be mass cutting within the clan. But this one does not necessarily say that in Kuria it's only this clan, but we all know that all the three clans, the cutting has been happening, and affected areas, the hotspots have been mentioned. When you go to Mutiniti, when you come to Siabai, even we are affected with the cross border. That is an emerging trend. The Narok border. There's a village called Mashangwa. So Mashangwa is also the FGM is happening in Mashangwa area and also in the side of Kenya, and these are really made a lot of girls to be evacuated for rescue, and also a lot of security intervention. But all are well, we have not seen that 100% intervention, and that's why we did a presser to ensure that there are key asks that we brought forth to ensure that the government respond to. So as we are speaking today, Jeremiah and the rest of the viewers, is that we are about 500 or over 500 girls have run away from different villages to go to the rescue, and over 40 girls. Those are only reported cases that are the police are having at different, about 4 police stations, around of approximately over 40 girls. Those are confirmed cases from the hospitals and from the holding centers at different across Kuria region, because we have 4 sub-counties and around 4 police station in Kuria. So those are only reported. But we feel as frontline campaigners that it is more girls have been cut. There are cases that have been reported because we've seen even the cutting happening at night. We have seen the cutting being now done even using border secretly, and girls are being brought. So that's why we did that present, whereby we are also asking the police to even if it's possible, the county commissioner can liaise with the national police for the enforcement to be done across all these hotspot villages. And also we called upon also the government to put chiefs, assistant chiefs, and also village elders of most affected areas to come forth and say, why is FGM happening? And again, to the viewers and also Jeremiah, I want to say that also cultural elders have really let us down, because these are the people who have been engaged. These are the people who are previously engaged, and also say that there's no FGM that is going to be happening. And from the record, we saw them being supported, even being offered some resources to go and talk with their gods. But it's in the public domain. Even from today, the assistant county commissioner for Kuria East, Kegonga, and also the sub-county police commander, Mr. Njoroge, from Kuria East, was saying that they are really disappointed, because this is a clan elders who denounced publicly that there's not going to be FGM to happen in Kuria, and even they did a declaration during the just recent Jamhuri celebration. So this is the happening, and statistics are all there. About over 405 girls have been rescued, and in these rescue spaces, the girls are rescued. We are still getting information. The bitter part of it, an update also, is that the frontline campaigners, the monitors, the community members who are giving information are at risk. And as we are speaking, and as I said earlier from the last update statement, that Timaru, Boda was killed.
A boda rider, a motorbike rider.
A motorbike rider. And also we've seen assistant chief being also harassed as at yesterday. We have also seen there's also one woman who is also a women rights campaigner from a village called Kokearaka. And this is a case that I brought up when the anti-FGM board came to the rescue that evening on Tuesday, yesterday on Tuesday. and I brought forth to the anti-FGM board, who are also following up with the police. This woman could not, for 2 days, could not be able to sleep in her home because there are a particular person who did the cut and feel that he was reported by this particular woman. These people have already came to to her house. Using a panga, they cut, they damaged the iron sheet on our roof. Then the police also, this was brought to attention to the Keanja police station, and the police took an action of going to that man's place in Gokearaka. And to the surprise is that also they tried to, this mentioned person, together with these people, tried to injure one police officer using an arrow, which to the good faith, it didn't get the police officer directly, but injured around his head, and he had to be hospitalized. As we are speaking, the policeman is hospitalized, and even the assistant chief who had accompanied them is also got some little injury.
I'm sorry, Vincent, because such incidences, I think, and we've been discussing this. I mean, we've seen, goodwill from the county commissioner, at least so far, with the convening of the chiefs as well as the DCCs. We've had a number of meetings. And I think what we've been pushing for is action from the police officers. Of course, the other stakeholders are working hard to ensure that, we all work in cohesion. Everyone plays their part. What I don't understand is, I mean, it's the office of the president. It's an officer from the office of the president that is being injured while trying to do their job. Is there any hard measures or any measures that have been taken to do arrests so far?
I can tell you that this morning we spoke with the woman who is being attacked, and she told me that as at today, the DCC, she called DCC, and DCC told her that they are in the process. That is DCC for Kuria West, Mr. Mwiti, that they are on the case. I'm not quite sure because we have been in this meeting from noon until now. I've not come out from Kegonga. I'm still at Kegonga police station around the DCC area compound. That's where I'm taking this. I'm giving this update from together because we were in the same meeting together with Tobias. Tobias is saying that his phone has gone off, but he's with me here. He will be joining, maybe speaking from here. So basically, I can say that so far I've not seen any action being taken. Is that attempt to go and arrest the person, and even the police officers were injured, and the representative of the
All right, sorry, we lost Vincent as well. Okay, now we have Vincent back.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you had disappeared for
sorry
some
for that.
seconds.
Somebody was calling. So I'm just saying that so far there is no action, but I know that the police and also the DCC is up on case. But what we want also is that we need police, we need to see reinforcement, because that is just one case. We don't know.
All right, we'll take a short break. We'll come back. Remember, this is the Frontline Ending FGM.
Data from more than 70 countries shows the local feminist activists and organisations are the most important and consistent force addressing violence against women. Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have denounced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting, and they send this to them, and they take the credit. because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.
Data from more than 70 countries shows the local feminist activists and organizations.
All right, welcome back. This is the Frontline Ending FGM. Today we have been hosting campaigners from West Pokot as well as Migori County, basically the Kuria region of that county. And we've had Dumtila Chisang speaking about what has happened just a few days after we had the last live show. And now we're having Vincent, and soon to join is Tobias Marwo to give us updates on the meetings that they've had, as well as rescue centers and how that is going on in Kuria. So I just quickly bring you for your closing remarks, Vincent. I just bring you back to the screen. Karibu.
Thank you so much. Like I was saying, there are critical issues that we had highlighted in the presser.
Yeah.
And this is something that is coming out in the entire Kuria region when the FGM is happening. For example, we have marked and known cutters. Even some of them, even from today, this evening, the meeting we are having this noon, by the security meeting, we joined. We were invited by the sub-county police commander for Kuria East, that is in Kegonga. It really came out loud because these cutters are known. There is even one cultural elders from Nyabasi clan called Nchama, who is also having her sister who is coming from Tanzania, cutting girls in Kenya and going back. So these cutters are known even from the area, the incident that has happened to this woman who cannot even go back to her home, and even her children are in danger in that particular home. There are cutters, 2 to 3 cutters whom are known from that area who are doing the cut in Kokearaka, and even the parts of Ntimaru, a place deep called Masangora in Ntimaru, and other hotspots. They are really known and marked. They have not yet been arrested so far. And also, that is something that has come out. We have also realized that there are those chiefs, Kipanoia, those chiefs who are supporting FGM. They are colluding with even the cutters and even the cultural elders. And even that is bringing it very, very, very hard for the work of stopping FGM, because even at this particular meeting we were having, it came loud. Even the chief themselves were saying that other chiefs who are among us here who are supporting FGM have taken their girls to be cut and nothing has happened to them. So it is a clarion call also for the government. We saw in 2021 when Shebesh came to Kuria, some chiefs were interdicted, some chiefs were suspended, and this is something that needs to be happened for the chiefs who are not taking action to their various villages and allowing FGM to happen. But we also have those chiefs who have stood and also are able. Another issue is about the border. There are some of the border borders, not all, some of the border borders that are being used to ferry girls, to take them to Tanzania, to take them to the cutting areas in Kenya, marked and known. So can we also have police also doing a patrol to see that girls are not being ferried? So basically is that, and also approximately saying that for the upcoming FGM in Nyabasi, I think this is a clarion call also the government, and also since now the anti-FGM board is on the ground, they are in Kuria. They arrived yesterday. We had a discussion with Mr. Nyerere of the anti-FGM board, and also Madam CEO Loloju called and certain us that anti-FGM have landed and confirmed, and we had confirmed that indeed Mr. Nyerere had come to the ground. So it's basically telling them that strict action to be made, a lot of patrol, and even if it's necessary, county commissioner to do more reinforcement in Kuria East, Kuria West, Mabera, and also in Timaru and Kegonga, so that this FGM and madness can be stopped, and more girls that are being at risk to be also rescued. And lastly, we have also those girls, even from the Komotobo Rescue Center and even from other rescue girls, those even girls who are in university, colleges, are being even threatened and are being forced to go to FGM, and even their parents are saying that if they are not going to accept to be taken to undergo the cut, they are not going to take care of their school fees. So let the police and also all the stakeholders come forth and this madness to be stopped, even the procession and the lives of frontline campaigners to be protected, the community members to be protected. We don't want them to be seen harmed and every other thing. So thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. I think we just hand it over to Tobias, and as we do that, I just request that we also make it short, Tobias, and also for those who are watching, please continue leaving the comments, and we'll read them as we go on. So Tobias is also from Migori, and he's been monitoring and now also part of the rescue centers, and it would be nice to know some facts about the situation in terms of monitoring as well as rescue centers. Very briefly, Tobias, in not more than 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Jeremiah, and all the viewers. Talking to you is Mr. Tobias from Zenduka. And briefly, I want to give the update concerning the rescue centers. So far in Korea, we have about six spaces where girls are being hosted at the moment. We have one in Intimaru that they actually use a church. Currently, they have around 23 girls. We have Komotobo where they have 64 girls. We have Zinduka at Taranganya girls where we have 148 girls. We have Goseso with 53 girls at the moment. We have 7 Gauge with 16 girls. We have Last Mile for D. We have Last Mile for D with 114 girls from Korea East. So what I can say so far is that we have had some challenges in the rescue centers. One, actually, some rescue centers are overwhelmed because these things just came without their knowledge. So their lack of resources, and again, we have had some challenges from the Ministry of Health. I want to say that, Mr. Jeremiah, I think the spaces that we are using are actually schools. We have just sought permission from schools to use them as temporary spaces. But we've got some challenges from the Ministry of Health where they want us to put everything in place, where they have some requirements they need us to put in place. So it's our request that the government comes out clearly and actually, in relation to the Ministry of Health, to actually not give us that very, very better requirements. There are things they should be that strict. There are things that can be done without.
Okay, so they are demanding that they are demanding that the girls, basically the rescue centers must have specific things. And what are those things?
Yes, actually they haven't. We don't have any established rescue center in place, the government's rescue center in place. But when they come actually in the school, and imagine these are schools that have been hosting girls, these are schools that have been hosting students or pupils in boarding facilities. But when they come now to inspect the safe spaces, they demand a lot. Actually, they have got a lot of requirements. They demand a lot of requirements. Like they need every girl to be sleeping under mosquito net. At times they need the rastrins to be very close to the girls. So at times it becomes a challenge because what we use is what we have actually found there. And these are girls that are at risk. They just come. At times they come with just a single pair of clothes. So you can imagine such a situation. And again, we have also had some parents, like you'll find that maybe one of the parents, maybe a father or a mother does not support FGM. If he or she organizes for her girl's safety, unapata kwamba pengine mama amekuja ameleta msichana for rescue, alafu baba anakuja kumhamisha kutoka nyumbani. Like I have a case at the moment from Nguruna location, that's in Kuria East sub-county, that one of the mothers is actually facing a lot of stress from the husband. She was chased away right from Sunday when she brought her girl for rescue. She's operating from outside the family. So such things are really annoying Mr. Kibanoi. And again, I want to echo on the same issue of the clan of elders. These people have really disappointed us because these are the people that we have engaged, fully engaged. We have had them in radio shows declaring that there is no FGM. And now they have turned against their declaration. So it's quite disappointing, as I can say. And one thing I also need to request that the government should also come in, like from the Ministry of Social Protection. They should come in and support these rescue centers with actually some food requirements. Because we have girls, yes, we can have enough space, but what to give these girls is a shortage. So we don't have enough what these girls should consume. And this holiday is still very long. We cannot actually leave these girls as and more girls are still coming in. Like from today's meeting, almost all chiefs are vowing actually to rescue the girls. If they to bring more girls, yes, we have space, but we don't have what to give them. You'll even find that already the cat ones who have been mutilated, maybe the parents have been arrested, the girls are still under police custody for the court proceedings to commence. The police still calls us demanding for the food for these girls. So we still have a long way to go.
Thank you, Tobias.
We have also found another challenging thing.
Yeah.
Like when we are going for the rescues, at times we'll find that maybe that the chiefs, the sub-county police team, the DCC team will actually request for fuel. Actually, most of their vehicles are there without fuel. It's also a challenge. Yeah, they have used everything in the ongoing examinations, and now they just have vehicles without fuel.
Thank you, Tobias. I think we digest that and we'll definitely share these clips. Thank you very much for joining us today. I don't know if you have any closing remarks in terms of what needs to be done next. One call to action. You've been meeting all these stakeholders, and of course there is a way forward in some aspects. What needs to be done and what stakeholders need to be engaged. And if there is anyone who's watching, what could they do to support this situation in Korea?
One thing I would request from all the stakeholders is unity. Let us work as a team, because what I know, let us not leave this issue, the struggle, the fight for FGM to CSOs or maybe to police. Let us unite together and work as a team.
Thank you, Tobias.
That's my major, yes.
Thank you, Tobias. I think I also bring this to a close. We will keep going live and speaking and getting the updates and making sure that this information reaches the people who need to hear this. We've been having this conversation from West Pokot in Korea. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi. Today we had Domitila Chesang, Vincent Muita, as well as Tobias Maroa, all in Korea. You can see on your screen. If you would extend it a little bit, Vincent, they're just now uniting in Korea in Migori County. So thank you very much for joining us, both of you, as well as Domitila, who had to leave us as she was on transit. I will bring this to a close, and as we do that, let's keep supporting, doing all we can from all our respective areas of power, I'd say, and make sure that the people in Korea, West Pokot, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kisii, Tana River, all the hotspot counties that are coming up, that they are also supported. My name is Jeremiah Kipainoi. I'll see you tomorrow, and take care, play your role if you are in that position. Kwaheri for now. I'll see you when I see you. Kwaheri.
Data from more than 70 countries shows that local feminist activists and organisations are the most important and consistent force addressing violence against women. Yet, less than 2% of donor funding goes to frontline women's organisations.
They are the people with first-hand experience. They are the people who are passionate.
Je connais des dizaines, des centaines d'ailleurs de personnes, de féministes et d'activistes. Si nous avons le financement direct, nous pouvons faire beaucoup de choses.
We remove the bondo bushes. We call them bondo bushes. And we construct schools. The whole world is talking about the importance of educating girls. But if we still have a lot of bushes where girls are initiated, do you think we will achieve education for girls? No.
Wow. As from today, we have announced the bondo business.
Intermediary organization, they take bigger salaries. And then they don't do anything. They don't go to the field. It's the local people, the local organization that do all the work. They do all the reporting and they send this to them and they take the credit because the monies are passed to them, even though the work is being done by the local people. Let's shift the power. Let's bring it down to the local organization so they can impact their own community. They are the victims. They are the people that can be able to make the change that the world wants to see.